by invoking the presence of, I'm going to use a specific word today, our Vaishnava ancestors, by offering a few prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayat Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtikir. So let's get started by reading today's verse. So today we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, verse 16. Aham kraturaham yagya swadhaham aham aushadham mantroham aham evagyam aham agnir aham hutam. Let's say it once more. Aham kraturaham yagya swadhaham aham aushadham Mandroham aham evagyam aham agnir aham hutam. One more time. Aham kraturaham yagya svataham aham oshadam mantroham aham evagyam aham agnir aham hutam. All right, let's go ahead and look at the synonyms. Aham, I, kratu, Vedic ritual. Aham, I, yagya, smriti, sacrifice. Swadha, oblation. Aham, I, aham, I. Oshadam, healing herb. Mantraha, transcendental chant. Aham, I, aham, I. Eva, certainly. Ajyam, melted butter. Aham, I. Agnihi, fire. Aham, I. Hutam, offering. Let's look at the translation. But it is I who am the ritual, the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Oh. I am the butter, I am the fire and the offering. Sorry. Okay, so let's take also a look at the purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, the Vedic sacrifice known as Jyotistoma is also Krishna, and he is also the Mahayagya mentioned in the Smriti. The oblations offered to the Pitarloka, or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitarloka, considered as a kind of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made with milk products for offering in the sacrifices are also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna, because fire is one of the 5 material elements and is therefore claimed as the separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. Or, in other words, so proposing twice in other words, those who are engaged in rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. So I'm going to continue invoking the power of my Vaishnava ancestors to give me some strength so I may say something of value in today's class. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखामृतंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today's class. Thank you. I'm seeing Amritanandan Prabhuji's name here. Satyabhama Mataji, Shai Prakash Prabhu. So many different devotees. Thank you all for joining. Niranjan Prabhu, Sachi Mata Mataji. Thank you for all joining. I ask for your blessings so that I may say something of value in today's class. So today today the verse mentioned, Krishna is talking about. So one thing I'll say is Krishna continually in this verse he uses the word aham, which means I. So in a way, this verse is showing us Krishna is proclaiming what he is to Arjuna, and this, although it may seem like, oh, this verse is simply just talking about like Krishna is saying I'm this, I'm that, Srila Prabhupada points out that it's a very important purport of this verse, and that is that those who are engaged in the rendering of devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. So how does Srila Prabhupada get to this point? The verse is about ritual, sacrifice. Krishna is saying, I am the offering to the ancestors. I am the healing herb. I am the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. But in the end, Srila Prabhupada is saying that it's coming up with a totally different thing than, not different, but totally different thing than what Krishna is saying here is about devotional service. And how does Srila Prabhupada get to that point? So to understand that, let's take a look at what all Krishna is saying in this verse and how it can relate to us. So Krishna says here, first, but it is I who am the ritual. So aham krasu, the Vedic ritual. So I think many of us here are pujaris. Many of us are also also many of us also assembled on this call are also like have also like grown up in India or have some background of Vedic culture and how many rituals there are. I know Simheshwar Prabhuji leads every week a Narsimha Yagya for the benefit of all people, really. I know my mom is also on this call. She has some services as in Shringar Seva and also helping train devotees to get on the altar and do service, to devotional service. So Archa Vigraha worship, so deity worship of Sri Sri Radha Shyamasundara temple. So many people assembled on this call, and also at your home, I'm sure you all are engaged in some form of deity worship. We also have Jayaprakash Prabhuji here. He does so much service in our temple, from cleaning to cooking to every kind of, really, I've seen Prakash Prabhuji do. And all of these services can be seen as a sort of ritual. They can be seen as something we are doing for the pleasure of God, but it's also, so there's a difference between like a routine and a ritual. So every day we get up and we do certain things. But here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about Vedic rituals. So these different things we do to please Krishna. And so what is coming to mind when I'm thinking, but it is I who am the ritual. Krishna is telling us that he is our offering of devotional service. So I personally, when I think about rituals, it's sometimes a very daunting thing for me, because there's so many things going on and I don't feel like I will know everything. There's so many mantras, there are so many things one has to know, so many things not to do, yama, niyama, everything. There's so many things we do, so many things we're not supposed to do, like how many times we wash our hand and how many things. So I personally get a little afraid of all of these rituals. But here Krishna is giving us a very, very beautiful approach to what ritual is. He's saying, I am that ritual. So whatever ritual we do, maybe it's a samskara, we sit with Simheshwar Prabhuji and he leads us through a beautiful Narsimha Yagya. By the way, I will mention that I once went to a Narsimha Yagya in December, and really I can say, really Krishna is the ritual. Really Krishna is the sacrifice, because I sat in that sacrifice and I just remember the entire week I was just really enjoying. I really enjoyed that Narsimha sacrifice, Narsimha Sudarshana Homa, Simheshwar Prabhuji led, and I really think it's because Krishna was present in that sacrifice. Sometimes I'll see like pictures on Instagram, and I'll like it'll be a fire of sacrifice, and it'll be in the form of Krishna. You'll see like Krishna is in the fire, and so the magical moments with Krishna. And then I think in those small moments where we really feel connected, I remember that Narsimha Yagya, and I think also initiation yagyas I've been to, of my friend Hrishta, of Satyabhama Mataji's in Atlanta. I've been to all of these sacrifices, and really in those there's some magical moments where you really feel Krishna's presence. And I think that's what I really strive to see in my Krishna consciousness, is Krishna's presence in those magical moments. And this verse, I feel, is again emphasizing to me that, it's one thing to look at a ritual as just doing things for the sake of doing them. Like I go to, for example, I can tell you all, I've been to Ganesh Chaturthi Yagyas, I've been to other yagyas for demigods worship and things like that. I've been to those in my community, Oriya community, and there is I won't say that. I will say that the ritual part, the ritual is there, and I will say like what I've seen from people my age and their experience with ritual is that they think it's a very impersonal thing, and it does feel like that. We're asking Krishna to satisfy all our desires, but here Krishna is saying that I am the ritual, so it becomes a very personal thing. So I'm thinking about all the service I do at temple, even me giving this class. It's a ritual. It's a practice I'm doing in my Krishna consciousness. Sacrifice. I'm sacrificing a little bit of my time. You all are sacrificing all of your time and energy to listen to me talk a little bit about this verse. Ritual, sacrifice, Krishna is saying that he is those things. And when I think about that, it makes things a lot more personal. And this is something I've heard before, and I'll share it. Spirit, Krishna is called the Supreme Spirit or the Complete Spirit. And when he says, it is I who am the ritual, I'm thinking that if Krishna is the complete spirit, he brings that spirit to the ritual. So when we I don't like that word, like adding Krishna. Krishna is it, like maybe just putting Krishna in the center and having our rituals directed towards him, having all of our practices directed towards him, that I am doing this for you, Krishna. You are this devotional service. With this attitude, with this Krishna-centered focus, all of our rituals become spiritual. They are, once we add that spirit, that Krishna is the spirit of the service, my love for Krishna is the spirit of this ritual, then all of our rituals become spiritual, because Krishna is the complete spirit. Krishna also says, I am the sacrifice. So there are many different types of sacrifices. The first thing when I think about sacrifice, I think about our Narsimha Yagyas at temple that Simreshwar Prabhuji so lovingly leads with all of his heart. Those sacrifices, they have so much power to them. I remember talking to a Mataji at one of the yagyas, and she said that these sacrifices, they carry so much good energy. They carry so much good energy. She explained how like she's going through some trouble, and whenever she comes to the yagya, she feels this flood of good energy overcome her and washing away all the negativity in her life. And hearing that from someone who was going through some hardship, I felt that was so powerful. And what I'm thinking is, who carries all this energy? Where is this energy coming from? Where is this good energy coming from? It can't be from like that fire. It's all smoky and it's like getting in my eyes and my ears and in a certain way. Where is that energy coming from? Where is that good energy coming from? Is it what we're throwing into the fire? What is the energy in these fire sacrifices? Where is it coming from? And here Krishna says, I am that sacrifice. So all of these all of this good energy that we're feeling from these fire sacrifices, we understand that the carrier is Krishna, because Krishna is present in those fire sacrifices. I'm sure Simreshwar Prabhuji will have some more to say about that. As he speaks some mantras in the beginning to invoke the presence of the Lord, of Agni, of the fire, and everything. And so he continues to and also Krishna also continues to say that I am the fire, I am the butter, I am the offering. Krishna also says, I am the offering to the ancestors. So I'll take some help from Srila Prabhupada here. Srila Prabhupada says here, the oblations offered to the Pitarloka, or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitarloka, or Pitarloka here refers to the planets of the ancestors, considered as a kind of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. So Krishna is the offering to the ancestors. So whatever offerings we like to give to our ancestors to for their blessings and also for their elevation, we can understand that that is also Krishna. So Krishna is the offering to the ancestors. Krishna is also the healing herb. It's a word that maybe some of you know, being from Indian, it's a Oshadhi. Oshadhi refers to the healing herb, Oshadham. So Krishna here is saying, I am that Oshadham, I am that healing herb. And a healing herb, it makes me think that we all have some kind of difficulty in life, some wound in our life, something we're going through. And I mean this like in a physical way, like we have some sort of cough and cold. There's so much physical distress the world is under right now, so much disease the world is under right now. And Krishna here is saying he is the antidote to all of these problems. I'm very so there is this so one of Krishna's expansions is Dhanvantari, or the father of Ayurveda, the father of the science of life, and it's beautifully described, and is beautifully described in this prayer, and which talks about how Dhanvantari, he is an expansion of Mahavishnu, and he holds in his hand Amrit Lasha, the pot of nectar. And that nectar that one will drink, it provides relief to all of the difficulty in the world. So I'm going to I want to tell you all this mantra that Sumitra Prabhuji told me. I've been told it's not good to give mantras around, but it's a known mantra, and you're all like my family, so it's I think I'm going to say it. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantare. So I offer my respects to Lord Sri Krishna, Vasudeva, who is also known as Dhanvantare. Dhanvantare. Amrita Kalasha Hastaya. So one who holds this beautiful pot of the nectar of immortality. Hastaya means it's a hand. So in Odissi we have different hasta mudras. So hastaya means in his hand. So in his hand he's all holding the Amrita Kalasha. Means not, Mrita means to die. So that nectar of immortality, he holds it in his hand. Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashaya. All sorts of Maya, all sorts of illusion, so in this verse, illusion is compared to disease. All diseases, all illusion, Maya. Sarvamaya Vinashaya. He destroys all the ignorance, all the illusion, all the disease of this world. Trailokya Nathaya, the Supreme Lord, who is the controller of the three worlds. Natha refers to controller. Trailokya refers to three worlds. Trailokya Nathaye, Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. I offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Shri Mahavishnu. So here, then here Krishna is saying that he is that healing herb. He is Dhanvantari. He is the antidote to all of our illusion, all of our maya, all of the disease that we experience in this world. So he is that healing herb. And I think this is a very interesting way we can look at taking our medicine. I think I was undergoing some Ayurvedic treatment for a while, and Ayurvedic treatment, especially the medicine, I'm not sure if any of you have taken it. Maybe you can put in the chat if yes, you've experienced the pain of taking Ayurvedic medicine. But Ayurvedic medicine is so bitter. I can't even explain to you, Prabhutis and Matatis, even just thinking about it. So bitter, and they'll be in the form of ghee, so it's like difficult to also swallow. It's so bitter. It's so astringent. It's so difficult to take. But it heals you. After I took that for a little while, I saw I was getting a little bit better. It's all worth it in the end. I remember I took something called like Mahatiktikas, krutam, some kind of ghee, and the entire day I was just out of it. Like my belly was like miserable. I was feeling awful, and I couldn't eat anything the entire day. But I had to take it, and I saw my health got a little better after I took it. But here Krishna is saying he is that healing herb. he is that medicine to all of our problems. And right now I'm thinking, how would my experience of taking that very difficult medicine be if I had this idea that Krishna is the healing herb? Krishna is this medicine. Krishna, who in my experience, in my view of who Krishna is, like Krishna, I'm not talking Vishnu, I'm not talking Narayan, I'm talking Krishna, who is filled with sweetness and love, and he like reminds me of like honey and the smell of lotus flowers and all things beautiful, and his skin is so soft like a rose petal, and he's so wonderful and honey-like, lotus-like. Everything about him is madhuram. Madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram. Madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram. Everything is sweet about the master of sweetness. So when I think about this, when I think, oh, Krishna, who is the master of all sweetness, like everything about him is sweet. If he is, in fact, telling in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 16, that he is that healing herb, he is that Oshadham, then I think that really transformed the way I take my medicine, any sort of medicine, whether it be any physical ailment, anything. And so one of the most powerful medicines of this yuga, as mentioned in the Kali Santana Upanishad, is the Transcendental Chant. It is known as the antidote to everything in Kali Yuga. And so Krishna says, I am the Transcendental Chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna says, I am the Transcendental Chant. I am japa. I am the japa meditation. So Krishna says here, I am the Transcendental Chant. I feel like really this verse is, everything about this verse is really personalizing who our everyday activities for Krishna. So all of you so beautifully were chanting Krishna's names just before Simesha Prabhuji introduced me to this class. And as I was reflecting on this verse, that Krishna is the Transcendental Chant, it also changes how I approach chanting. Rather than it being an impersonal, just just speaking the words and just getting it into your ears, it becomes a more personal transaction. If I'm a very big fan of Satyanandan Swami Maharaj, and he gives a lot of beautiful beautiful insight into the chanting of the holy names. And he says, also Srila Prabhupada says this too, is that when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are taking personal association of Radharani and Krishna. So Krishna says that he is absolute. So his name is the same as his form. So when we say Hare Krishna, Radharani and Krishna are right there in front of us. And Satyananda Swami Maharaj, he also leads us through a meditation like this, is that imagine that you're closing your eyes and you're chanting, and in front of you, while you're moving your beads and you're saying the words, Radharani and Krishna are right in front of you. You're speaking to them, you're chanting to them, you have a prayer for them, you're having a dialogue with them. I think that really revolutionizes the way I see chanting. So finally, Krishna says, I am the butter and the fire and the offering. So I'll take a little help from Srila Prabhupada here. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the 5 material elements and is therefore claimed as the separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda. Okay. So the fire is also Krishna because it's one of the separated energies of Krishna. So by understanding this, and maybe we can also put this around to our own life. When we turn on the gas stove, when we light a match, when we offer a small diya, we offer at the fire and we offer it to Krishna. We're offering one of God's own elements back to him. So I do not possess anything that may be a worthy gift to give you, Krishna, you who has given me absolutely everything. So let me offer you your own fire, your own material elements, your own butter. Let me offer that to you, added with my own love and devotion. Please accept it and purify me. That's my prayer. So Krishna is his own element. There's also one thing I'd like to mention is that there are different interpretations of how we can see offering fire to Krishna. One, we can see it as we're taking one of Krishna's own material elements and we offer it back to him. For example, sometimes when you go to the Yamuna or the Ganga or any holy river, you'll see that people, they take in their hands, they take both of their hands, they hold up their hands, they sing Gange cha Yamune chaiva, invoking the sacred waters, and then they take that Ganges water, that Yamuna water, and then they pour it down, they pour it back into the Ganges. And it's almost to say that Mother Ganga, you have given me life, you have given me purity, you've taken away all my sins, because by bathing in the Ganga, you're able to remove all your sins. You've given me so much. What can I give you? So here, let me offer you your own water. So similarly, when we offer fire to Krishna, we're also offering back his own element, his own material element, separated energy back to him. Another way we can look at fire is that when we light the diya, and it's so mindful, Krishna consciousness is a meditation. It's like a lifelong meditation. It's not just like a religion that we just, like a ritual. It's not just a ritual that we light a fire, we wave it, and then we put it down and we go back to our room, which is sometimes what I do, unfortunately, when I can't really connect with Krishna. But it's really a meditation. I am taking this fire. So this is another interpretation. So we light the match, we take this fire, and we put it on the diya, which has some wax, which has some ghee, which represents our anarthas, which represents our impurities in our heart, envy, anger, jealousy, our lower qualities, our lower values. And when we take that fire, all of the wax, it melts out of the diya and it leaves us with the diya itself. So by adding the purity of Krishna, by adding the purity of fire, we are taking away our the wax or the material impurities of our heart, envy, anger, jealousy, lust, greed, ego, illusion. All of these are removed by the power of the fire. So this is another interpretation. And by remembering that Krishna is in every single one of our rituals, our sacrifices, in every single moment of our day, by meditating on his presence, and also this is a difficult thing to I definitely don't think about Krishna 24/7. It would make life very joyful, of course. When we bring that spirit to every single part of our day, then everything we do becomes spiritual and becomes joyful. And of course, that's the end product. Thank you all. These are what the reflections I had on today's class. If you have any questions or would like to discuss anything, this is the time. Otherwise, I also have a question I can ask all of you. So whatever you like. Oh wow, there's so many people here today. Hare Krishna. Okay. Does anyone have any reflections they would like to share about today's class or this verse?
Hi, Surabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Janki Mataji.
Just a little comment and an appreciation because it's so wonderfully presented, and I love the example that you gave to add the spirit of Krishna and everything. And I was just reflecting on that and meditating that there are so many things around us, and we just see them as matter, but really we are using all the matter also to offer to Krishna, and how we can make those matter elements also with a spiritual vision, and how we see them as spiritual, with a spiritual vision instead of thinking that that's matter. So everything around us is really Krishna's.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So we can see even like, the pencils in front of us or the desk in front of me as a part and parcel of Krishna and how we can use that in his service. That gives us spiritual vision.
Yeah, even though we are like using everything for making our daily chores, or we are functioning using everything around us for functioning properly for work or for school or for projects, but everything around us is really part and parcel of him, and we have to be truly aware of that and conscious of that, and also be grateful and indebted for what we are getting, without even realizing.
That's such a powerful thing. And I'm actually thinking about that recently, is everything in life is temporary and everything in life is borrowed, right? Everything I mean, as a kid, I feel like I especially feel this because really nothing is mine. Like, this is my parents' house. This is everything given to me is my parents. But really, in a true sense, nothing is mine. Everything is borrowed. And at one point, that realization could feel, oh, that's so awful. Like nothing is mine. But then I'm realizing that if nothing is mine, then it gives me a lot more appreciation to cherish those things. That this is a very close to my heart, and thing I'll share. But like my parents are their lives are also temporary. Um, um, that's kind of a very scary thing, right? My parents' lives are temporary, but that also gives me the energy that if my parents' lives are temporary, um, I can use their time, to cherish them and value them even more, as much as I can. So I think this idea that we can be grateful for something that is not ours is such a powerful thing. Thank you for sharing. To be grateful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for wonderfully presenting today's class, and each and every word you said was like, how you get a revelation and that gives you a reflection. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I joined in the middle, but it was a very nice session. Or when you said like Krishna's name is like Madhuram, and yeah, Krishna's name is very sweet. So like whenever the chanting, sometimes we forget completely that thing, and just to complete the rounds we do chanting, but that feeling of cherishing his name, that's wonderful feeling. And um, thank you for reminding that. um, and the session was very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Ajay Prabhu. Yeah, I definitely am not in that point in my life where I'm cherishing Krishna's every name when I'm chanting. Thank you so much for sharing that. That it really changes the way we approach chanting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Surabhi. It was a nice class. Wonderful. Thank you, dear devotees. If there is anything else, any reflections, any more reflections, comments, questions, concerns, so let's have some discussions.
Hare Krishna Surabhi. Wonderful class. Very nice analogy. I like that about the sacrifice you are talking about. Narsinga Yagya we perform every Saturday. And
Yes.
yeah, depending about our bhava, we get the manifestation of Krishna also in that fire. When Jai Prakash Prabhuji, when Simeshwar Prabhuji lights up, and then Jai Prakash Prabhuji takes the picture and sends everyone, and then we get the comments. So last this Saturday, Simeshwar Prabhuji was not there, but Madhupati Prabhuji performed that yagya, and then while taking prasadam, he just showed that picture. Look at this. It is Tribhanga Dhari Sham Sundar. We
No
got.
way.
And I like that analogy you said, whatever we are chanting, so how it cleanses. We always say, yeah, when we chant, it cleanses our heart, but we don't know like how it's cleansing. Like in sacrifice, we put the samidha and it's
Yeah.
purifying air. Like all vikaras are going like that. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Radha and Krishna, we are associating with them, and they are cleansing our vikar continuously. Like Lal Govind Prabhuji said, one day we say we chant, and then Krishna comes in our heart, and he is Tribangadhari, so he just gets stuck inside in the heart, and he wants to go out. Next day again we are chanting, so he has to come again, and then he thinks, oh, I have to stay here now forever. So he starts cleansing, like cleaning the house, and then our heart gets purified. So we always
Mm.
say it gets purification or cleansing our heart. So I like your analogy, how you say, told us. Very nice. Thank you so much. It was really nice. And also about Ayurvedic medicine. Yeah, Ayurvedic medicine, they are bitter in taste, but they are really miracle. Like in chikungunya time, people were taking all allopathic, homeopathy medicine, but finally only Ayurvedic medicine was working. Like I told a lot of people, Srimati Mataji also, she got, when she went to India and she got that, she also got recovered because of Ayurvedic medicine. There is no side effect. It takes time, but it cures from the roots and no side effects also. But allopathy medicine, we get the temporary effect, but later we don't know what will be the consequences. So it's good. Ayurvedic medicines are always good. And that is
Yeah.
Dhanvantari, which we got
Yeah.
from Krishna only, right? Original. So thank you so much. Very nice class. Hari Bol.
Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that thing about Krishna cleaning our heart. There's like that verse, that very popular verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's one of my favorites. Srinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyanto Sto Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatam. So all of the abhadra, all of the abhadrani, all of the bad elements in our heart, Krishna comes and he cleans it. Krishna cleans our heart from all of those anarthas. It's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Okay.
Okay, Jai, anything else? Otherwise, let's conclude. It's almost 8 o'clock. There is nothing else. I could see some few new devotees join today. Could see Bhavana Mataji. I think it not seen before. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining this Sangha. This is every day we have a Bhagavad Gita class in the evening and Bhagavatam class in the morning. Please join every day, and it's very helpful. Very helpful. Ajay Prabhu is in St. Louis. Prabhuji still tries to join.
Yeah, I left my heart in CNG,
Heart in
Prabhu.
CNG.
My
You
body
can't
is in
leave
their
your heart.
place.
I lost my heart in Masjid, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, please do so.
Prabhuji was always in the service, cooking service. He used to come. So I remember, yeah, we will miss you, Prabhuji, here in the services.
And we
Yeah,
are
my,
requesting and praying come back soon so that we can continue service.
sure, Prabhuji, your word. Mercy. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So Thursday is Ekadashi. Please observe. It's a Putra De Ekadashi. Please fast from grains and beans. And Friday morning 7:19 to 10:30 a.m. EST is the break time. It's also Makara Sankranti on 14th. So it's an auspicious times, and please engage in the devotional service. It gets more benefit, especially because of how sometimes people ask, how do we get more benefit? How do we get the more benefit? Because of the everything is pure on that time, so we'll be more pure in our chanting, in our devotion. So purity is the force. If you do anything with that purity, that creates more results than our mind is dull and our mind is going here and there. When we chant the holy name, thinking about so many other things. But like especially Ekadashi day and special days and auspicious days, we are more focused, and I think you must have experienced that. You will be more focused. More, that means focus means you have more purifications, and that gives you more energy and purity and the force, everything. So this way we can more connect to Krishna. So please engage, and there will be a kirtan on Thursday starting at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then we'll continue our Bhagavad Gita class. Please continue to join, and this is a wonderful association. We are systematically studying Bhagavad Gita, so that's what is we needed. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that we should study Bhagavad Gita, not just read but study, scrutinizingly and elaborately in detail. We have to study. We say Krishna is I am the herb, I am the harvest, I am the fire, I am the sacrifice. So we just that's fine. Krishna is everything, but we have to also put some efforts that how is that. So then our faith will become more strong. Otherwise, it's like vague, So that knowledge helps to become more, to have more faith in Krishna. Faith is the key. Everything's, based on the faith. If you don't have faith, then everything is shaky. So we need to have a strong faith. Strong faith comes from the knowledge, not only the knowledge, transcendental knowledge, spiritual knowledge. So then through the spiritual knowledge, we can realize more, understand more, so that we can always situate in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, and I would humbly request, please join. If there is nothing else, let's conclude that today's class. Okay. So vancha kalpatarubhasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
नमो नमः।
वैष्णववृंद की जय,
जय।
पिता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, वैष्णववृंद की जय। गुरु प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि बोल।
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Surabhi.